Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey of me describing 2.5 years of my life that have definitely not been a walk in the park, but have definitely also been a learning experience. And throughout this whole discussion, I will be breaking up each video into small segments, one chapter at a time. They'll be about 5 to 10 minutes because I understand what it's like to have the attention span of a grape. Not ADD, but I understand what the internet's like. You can't have a video more than 15 minutes or else you just get super bored. I understand what that's like because dopamine. I understand. So I'll just be going through, step by step. But I'm going to give a brief introduction about what this has been like for me with this recent disease just being out of nowhere 2.5 years ago. So to give a brief start, this started 2018, and it probably started much sooner than what I'm about to describe. And at the time, he was my boyfriend. Now he's my fiance. Josh started noticing it, but the most memorable event was in June 2018. And he brought it up to me during a shopping trip we had in Salt Lake City, which, if you're from Wyoming, rural Wyoming, a trip to Salt Lake City is like going to Disneyland. And we were just walking around the mall, and he stopped me and he says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he said, "You were just staring absentmindedly and you were just babbling." And I said, "Well, that's weird." And we just kept going. And then later that day, we went to IKEA for him to get some stuff for his apartment because we do long distance. I mean, we don't now, but we would do long distance. And I forgot my purse because I left it in the car because I'm a big dum-dum because you shouldn't leave your purse in the car. And I said, "Hey, I forgot my purse," because I also wanted to get something. And I asked him, "Can you give me the keys?" And he said, "Okay, sure, here you go." And next thing I know, I'm wandering around the store, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I need to find Josh, I need to find Josh, I need to find Josh." And I found him, and he says, "Where's your purse?" And I thought, "Oh crap, I need to go get my purse." And it was bizarre that I just all of a sudden couldn't process, I guess you could say. I couldn't figure out what was going on. So we went home back to the great state of Wyoming, and I texted my mom, "Mom, I think my brain is broken." I told her everything that happened that day. And she said, "Go to the hospital, like now." So the first hospital we went to in Salt Lake was terrible. They drew my blood. I told them everything that happened. They drew my blood. They gave me a weird diagnosis called global transient amnesia. They told me to contact a neurologist, and they just sent me on my merry little way. Well, gee, thanks. That does absolutely nothing for me. So we contacted a friend, and she referred us to another hospital in Salt Lake. And they were a lot better about it. We went through the whole thing, but of course, as I'm waiting in the room with my fiance and his dad, and of course it was after the nurses left, I had an episode. And they had all the monitors hooked up to me. They had an IV in my arm. They had the blood pressure cuff, the pulse oximeter, the works. And next thing I know, it's all in my lap, except the pulse oximeter because it beeps when it's not collecting data. I said, "What happened?" And my fiance and his dad, they say, "You don't remember?" I said, "No, what happened?" said, "You throw a violent tantrum. We tried to hold you down, but we couldn't help you." I said, "Well, that's really weird." And so, like I said, of course it was after the nurses left. And the neurologist came back and said, "Well, from what we can tell now, it looks like Chiari malformation. And the cure for that means brain surgery, for sure. And Chiari malformation, it means, I don't know which part of the brain it is. I mean, you can certainly say what it is in the comments, because I never took anatomy in high school. My high school was weird. But Chiari malformation is when the base of your brain gets too enlarged and blocks off your spinal fluid. So that was just my initial diagnosis, and they gave me medication, which I still used after they later gave me an epilepsy diagnosis after I had an MRI. So, like I said, I was still on this medication. And this next episode, I will be talking about all of my medications, because that's been a real treat. Thanks for watching.